Hey everyone, welcome back to an exciting news breakdown here on SHODO-Pop. Alright, as always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos, and hey, I want to give a massive shout out to Malunis for taking care of the news last week, because this week we have so much to get through, because this blog is packed full of stuff, and a bunch of stuff happened around it. But before that, I did want to mention, there was some development about the Shodo Digimon news while I was out, so let's take a look at that. As you may remember, 2 weeks ago, I did talk about Shodo Digimon and the pre-orders going up for this premium Bandai set, but in the interim time, a P-Bandai US pre-order went up for this set. The initial Japanese release went up for 5,500 yen, whereas this one, the US one, goes up for $60. I almost said 6,000 yen. $60. So in relative terms, it's about a $5 markup for this US release, but like, that's really good, considering they have to, ship a bunch of stuff. If you have to go through a middleman to get it, then, this is quite a good option. The only caveat here is that this set comes out a different time in the US than it does in Japan. Japan, it releases in October, but in the US, the pre-orders close in October and it actually releases in December. So basically, it looks like the US is being served a second wave rather than being part of that little first wave. It's fine though. Waiting 2 months is, par for the course, especially since this might show up just as a nice Christmas or winter holiday gift, what have you. It's gonna be nice. I really hope you get your hands on these. The link to this is in the description down below. Unfortunately, I don't have any other pre-orders for anyone that isn't in the US, so do keep that in mind. I will still have the pre-order link for the Premium Bandai Japan one, so then you can forward that to a middleman and hopefully get that to you. That's the best I can do for you. I'm sorry that is, the limitations of our capacity here. Anyway, that is it for Shodo Digimon. Let us now move into the Kamen Rider Candy Toy blog, where we have tons of stuff to get through. The first of which wasn't even in that little thumbnail. Let's take a look at him. It is Cross Saber. Or, Cross Saber Crimson, or Crimson Saber. I don't know what to call this thing. I haven't watched Saber in a little bit, but hey, that's fine. He looks quite different from the initial version that we are getting within the same set, so this is set to release in Book 9, and it might just be my eyes, but he does not look quite as metallic-y. Like, the stickers don't look quite as shimmery as this first figure does, so that's just an interesting thing that caught my eye. But there are a few more awesome things to talk about this guy with. The first of which is his sword. There are quite a few changes to it that you could plainly see right here. The main difference here is that it is slid up a little bit. You actually get two different swords. One to highlight 3 different symbols on the sword, and then one ticked up a little bit to highlight the other 3 symbols on this sword. So what that basically spells out for you is the first tick mark of that sword. You've got, saber, blades, and espada, and then for the last tick you have, Big Turtle Daddy Man, the Buster, Slash, and don't remember the name. Kenzan? Probably that one. We'll see if that's right in the comments down below. So you get both of these swords. You get both versions of these to display the different versions with the little symbols. And for those symbols, they did want to mention that they had to go through a lot of R&D to get these to where they are now. And I gotta say, they're really recognizable. Like, you can plainly see what symbols they're supposed to be, and I'm very pleased with the way this looks. Another thing that I'm very pleased with is this. We get the little extension piece for the hilt, and this time they wanted to highlight the adapter piece as well, but we'll get to that. here is, you know, the sword with a little extra hilt piece, and it looks pretty good. Also, this is the one that you have selected the Saber, Blades, and Espada symbols on it, so now you can summon, using the adapter piece, you can summon these 3 swords. So basically, you can take that adapter piece, and it's 3mm compatible, so you can put it on any of the display stands that you already have in your collection, and I think that's really cool. Another thing you can do is highlight the other 3 swords in the set, summon those, and have Saber, I don't know, fighting alongside with those as well, summoning them, doing the whole, you know, fang or bit thing like you would call in Gundam. It looks good. I really appreciate this, and this shows a different display-based configuration if you wanted to try that yourself. Anyway, that is it for the, I guess, you know, sword portion of it. Let's talk about details with this guy, because there are quite a few things that are different between this one and the initial Crimson Saber. Now, here's a side-by-side comparison. Already you can see that the helmets are different because it does not retain the Hawk and Sayu Journey portion of the head. It's just regular base Saber with the brand new sword piece sticking out of his head. But that's not all that's different, because if you see on the chest, there is something missing. And it's actually missing on the in-show suit as well. If you take a look, the S pattern, or the Chinese symbol for thunder, that pattern is now missing on the actual suit, and it's only on the tummy. It's only on, like, the little abdomen piece, the chest piece. That one still has the detail going around it, but the actual abdomen piece is missing that for some reason in the actual suit. So, SHODO decided, well, we want this to be accurate, so let's just clear out that spot. They managed to make it far more accurate. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. It's another small addition they didn't have to do, but they modified the mold to make this possible, which, in retrospect, did they have to damage the initial Crimson Saber mold to make this happen? I'm not going to think about that, but the point is, you're going to be getting a very accurate figure out of this. So hey, that's very good. Look forward to seeing this. Another thing that you should be looking forward to seeing is more Book 9 next week, and this week we are heading into some new Gaim territory. So, like we said earlier, Gaim 3. SHODO Chronicle Gaim 3, that was the very last retail release for SHODO Gaim. So, we are now in premium territory, and this first premium no, not first. This extra premium set, this one is based off of the brand new, what would you even call it? The TTFC special, where it was Glidon versus Durian. And we have a set commemorating 4 figures from that special. Let's take a look at the first one, which is obviously King Durian, and it looks so good. It looks exquisite. Take a look at all of that metallic red paint over this figure. Something they really wanted to talk about was a little scar above the eye of the helmet, and, you know, they wanted to make sure that every small detail was recreated here. And I gotta say, something I really like is the little spikes under the, like, on the actual chest armor. The red ones on the black, those are actually picked out in paint. That's wild. That is some decadence right there, especially with the cape, because the cape is fully painted. That's not molded in that color. That's just way more paint budget that they had to deal with. So that's awesome. On top of that, the cape can move. It does articulate pretty well, so I appreciate them adding that. I don't want to say extra detail, but giving us a lot more posing options with it. But that's not all that's in this set, because obviously we have another main character. This is the lychee arms for Durian, and it looks great until you look at the stickers. I will say, though, the helmet and the head looks very good. It's just the rounded parts with the stickers. it's not the best. Do keep in mind that these are pre-production stickers, so they are going to be of lesser quality than the ones you're getting. Unfortunately, it is still going to be a flat sticker trying to curve around a domed surface, so you are going to be getting some interesting things out of this, especially in the hammer. But he does have another weapon that does look good, and that is the sword. Now, this is obviously a mold reuse of Lord Baron's sword, but hey, it works out here, and it looks just fine, and it's, you know, accurate to the movie and or 2 episodes, however you want to consume that media. Anyway, that is it for this figure. Let's move on into the other figure in this set. The first time that a figure will be made of this character. Oh wait, no, this is just the 2 of them standing together and fighting. Hey, it looks good. And hey, here it is. It's Kamen Rider Sylphie. I believe it's Hell's Arms, I think. And she came with a whole bunch of new and interesting things for them to deal with in terms of production. First up, she is a brand new mold because they don't make too many female molds for SHODO Gaim, and she had to be remade from the ground up. On top of that, she has these side skirt pieces that were difficult to do, as well as an interesting effect with this little mouth scarf that I completely forgot that she had, and is quite integral to her character. So it works out here. Everything here looks pretty good. On top of that, she comes with her signature weapon, which is, you know, the suit basically reused the troop builder's staff, but here they probably had to make a brand new mold for this, which, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, especially for SHODO, and it looks good anyway. I'm very, very excited about this. Another thing that I'm very excited about, and that I'm sure you guys are very excited about as well, because this next figure we're about to talk about is the most requested one in the SHODO blog. It is Kachidoki. Well, not, you know, regular Kachidoki, it's Takatora's Kachidoki. How do I always forget his name? This is ZANGETSU. Oh my god. Not many words start with the letter Z. This is ZANGETSU Kachidoki, and he looks fantastic. Like I said, one of the most requested figures, and, you know, this brought up a little bit of an interesting thing, because does that mean that we might not get a set of the Proto Riders, like the Black Riders from the play, because he's already here in this set and can't fill out a set for the play? I don't know. It's just speculation on my part. The thing is about this guy is that it wasn't so much that they were basically they were chomping at the bit to make this. They knew that you guys were all, and you know, everyone in Japan as well, were all clamoring for this figure, so they decided the moment they could get an opportunity to make this figure, they absolutely did, and they took it, and it looks really good. It's accurate, and it's, you know, basically just Gaim again, but, you know, it's accurate. That's how it's supposed to be. He's only ever depicted with the Melon Defender and the Dai DJ Ju combo with the sword, so you aren't going to be getting a separate sword, and you're not going to be getting a separate DJ gun, unfortunately. So that's all you're getting with this guy, but he, you know, can hold his flags if you would like to do that. Anyway, this looks good. I'm very excited about this, and it looks good fighting Sylphie. So how are you getting your hands on this? Well, obviously there's going to be a Premium Bandai Japan link. There has been no link sent out for Premium Bandai US, but there is a Tokullectibles pre-order that went up for this for $90. That's not bad for this set. Especially since you're getting 4 figures, one of them being a completely new tool. So this is pretty good value for your money, and the pre-orders only went up within the last few days, so it's a good thing we waited to talk about it. So definitely, if you want this for $90, get your hands on it. $90, and there's no shipping involved. I mean, obviously shipping is involved, but you're not paying for it if you pay the $90. So That's $90 well spent. That's a little over, I want to say $20 per figure, but, you know, it's a premium set. What do you expect? This is pretty good. Very excited. Definitely get your hands on these. This is going to be out in October, so definitely keep that in mind. It'll be a while until you get your hands on these. 4 months roundabout. So just keep hyped for these. It's going to be a very exciting set. But if we want to talk about non-premium items for a second, let's talk about some new SHODO-O stuff that they revealed. And we didn't know that this was going to happen. They didn't tell us about it. So let's just talk about it. Because the first one... Oh, shoot. That's not the right picture. The first one in this set is Rogue. Kamen Rider Rogue is making it into SHODO-O, the next SHODO-O set. And he looks good. He looks really good. Something that I was really missing out of the retail release of Rogue when he came out in SHODO was the white hands, and they did it perfectly here. I love these. The only other paint details that I feel like are missing are like on the belt and on the feet, but you know, that's just how SHODO be sometimes. Also, he's going to be coming with a weapon, actually a plethora of weapons. The only one they displayed, the only one they pictured here is the Trans Steam gun, but there is the combined mode with the knife, and the knife separately on its own. So that will come with this figure, and he will look great amongst the other build riders. Oh man, this looks so good. And I can't wait to get my hands on all of these. But before all of that, or, you know, next up, let's talk about Cronus. Kamen Rider Chronicle. But not Kamen Rider SHODO Chronicle. This is Kamen Rider... I said the name just now and I forgot. Kronos. He looks good. And he's going to be coming with this shushing posed hand, which... very in character. This figure posed a lot of issues for them because of all the spikes coming off of his head and the shoulder pads, as well as the sort of cape skirt piece. So those were all done in PVC. I'm interested to see how the skirt piece comes out, because this is very different than what we've ever had before in I want to say the candy toy space in general, because we've typically had those off on their own little struts connected to the back, but this is just molded right into the belt. So I hope that it doesn't tear or rip in any sort of area, but it does seem like there are some fail points where the cloak sort of sticks to the belt. Either way, still very excited. He looks very cool, and will probably look cool amongst the rest of the X8 riders. Anyway, that's not all, because we also have, a picture of him fighting his son. Actually, I did want to mention, this is the last figure we technically needed for that special, to like really recreate that special. You've got Genom, you've got Genom Dad, and now, and before we also got the, I think it was called Black Thouser. So you have all three characters, or all three suited characters from that special. Anyway, this isn't the only figure in this set, because we're still going yet further back. We have the... Oh man, I forgot what this dude's name was. But it is the troop builder for Kamen Rider X8, clearly. And it looks pretty good. And you will actually be getting two different versions of this figure. He does come with the reused Ryo Trooper weapon like they had in the show, so that's pretty good. And I assume it will still articulate and be able to do both sword and gun mode, but they were both, or they were depicted at some points in the show with either a Gashikon Breaker or a Gashikon Key Slasher. So they decided that there are going to be two different versions of this figure. There's going to be one with the Gashikon Breaker and one with the Gashikon Key Slasher. They didn't depict them here, just know that you can do that. They will be in that set. So that's really awesome. You can also have him beating up X8 and stealing all his stuff if you would like. Anyway, that's not all for troop builders, actually, but we'll get to that, because we still have some Blade stuff to talk about. Yes, That's right, it is Wild Chalice at long last, and they know that a lot of people have requested him in the surveys, but they have been actually working on this guy for a very, very long time anyway, well before, I believe, King Form showed up onto the scene. King Form and Liangle made their debut on the blog, so they've been working at this for a while, and they know they've been wanting to make this for quite a bit. On top of that, he's going to be coming with, you know, the daggers and the combined mode with his dagger, the two daggers and the bow. So this looks pretty good. Very excited about this thing. Another thing is that the little side skirt pieces, those are separate parts, and it seems that they articulate on their own in some sort of way. Either that or they're connected to the belt. I'm not quite sure. But they did say they rearranged them or arranged them in such a way to, you know, help better move out of the way for articulation. Anyway, that's not all the blade love they gave us, because remember what I said about army builders. There he is. It is the Dark Roach. So this is a very interesting thing that they talked about, because they said something along the lines of, hey, it made it past the planning meeting, which means they really had to fight for this guy. It's another army builder, just like the worm, that made it out of the planning meeting. So it's here, and it looks dapper. Like, this is a sexy alien looking thing. I love it. And it does have minimal paint apps that it probably needs to do, so very, very good. On top of that, it has the Albiroach version? And I believe this is for the Albino Joker variant, and it's yet another army builder. So we get technically four different army builders, just because those ride players count. I found the name again, ride players. Just because those ride players technically count as two different figures. So that's 4 army builders if you decide that you want to get multiples of this set. So that's very, very good. Definitely get as many as possible. But that's not all that they're coming with, because it doesn't appear that these guys have accessories, except they showed this off. This is, well, it's a controller, apparently. It controls the rest of the little army men, the little army builders here, and it looks good. If you army build these, you're probably gonna have quite a few of these controllers anyway, so army build some controllers. I don't know, do what you want to do. This, I believe, comes out in October as well. Like, all of these items come out together in one set. I'm definitely looking forward to these, and the pre-orders should be up soon, so definitely keep an eye out for those. Anyways, I believe that is it for the news. Oh, it took a while. There are links in the description to where you can find these items, or at least some of the items. Also, there's a link in the description to an HLJ sale. Now, this is going to be not really a sponsored part, but something that might help out this channel if you are so inclined. There is a, I don't want to say an affiliate link in the description, but they're doing this thing. It's basically a popularity contest. If you click our personalized HLJ link, they will potentially award us with some in-store credit. So hopefully, you know, it's basically to help them drive traffic to their site. You know how it is. You know the details. If you click the link, though, it might help us out in the long run and potentially getting us free in-store credit. And maybe, you know, get us on the good side of HLJ. I don't know. We'll see. Hi, HLJ. Anyways, if you don't click that link, that's fine, because there are more very important links in the description down below. We've got the Black Lives Matter movement links in there as usual. We've got the hashtag Stop Anti-Asian Hate links in there. But we've also got links to donate to the Trevor Project, because, hey, it's Pride Month, and you know, you can help support. You can help support right now. Links in the description down below. If there are any links you click, please let it be those. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, there's my ride watch. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it. Oh no. Ah!